Welcome to all you lovely librarians that have now upgraded to SmartSuite Library. We're going to just give you a quick run around to show you all the things and how easy it is to do things in SmartSuite Library. And if you're new to functional solutions or if you're contemplating SmartSuite Library, just a few fundamentals that always kind of go under the radar and nobody wants to talk about, but we definitely want to talk about it, especially here in Australia, and that is we're Australian owned. Okay, it's developed in Australia, it's owned in Australia, it's supported in Australia, and all the profits and funds stay in Australia. And even in a period of COVID, we are still employing people. Because we've been very successful for the last 35 plus years, and we continue to support you. When we talk about being Australian owned, unlike our competitors who are either American owned, Canadian owned, and they make out like they are Australian owned, or New Zealand owned and they make out like the Australian, we are actually an Australian company registered on the Australian Consumer Affairs line, and we are in Victoria and in Brisbane, but we support libraries right throughout Australia. Whether you're in Queensland, Tasmania, Darwin, it really doesn't matter. Okay. Another thing is, whenever you upgrade from 35 years ago right up until today, our upgrades are always free. You've never been charged. You never will be charged in the future either. And we don't play funny games with our upgrades. We don't say, oh, the upgrade's free, but then you find you have to pay a data conversion cost. Or you can upgrade and then you discover that reports don't work. So therefore you have to pay for your reports to get rewritten again under a new version. Those are all tricks that some companies play around with. When you upgrade, it is absolutely free, and your annual subscription will not go up either. Okay, so it's our pleasure to bring you SmartSuite Library. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with adding a patron. And the reason for that is because once you learn to add a patron, then adding a catalog record is exactly the same. So to be able to do anything from a management point of view, you need to be logged in as a librarian, and your login is up here. So you will have a URL, okay, and it's your school name.functionalsolutions. That's all you need. You don't have to worry about the extensions. You don't have to worry about the HTTPs. It's just a school name.functionalsolutions, and you will bring up one of two pages. You'll either bring up a home page where you can tailor this home page. 90% of people that we've researched don't even worry about that. They just want to, when a student logs in, teacher logs in, parent log in, they just want to see the content that's available in the library. One thing that we do different to everybody else, whenever you go in, the record that's up here will be the most current record that was added to the system. So if I add 3 books, then 3 books will appear here and everything will shuffle down. If I add 23 books, they'll shuffle down. If I add 40 books, they'll all shuffle down. So whenever anyone goes into SmartSuite, the first thing they'll see is what's available. Obviously, they can search. They can go and say, all right, I'm going to search for cat, or I'm going to search for doll, or I'm going to search. So you can search for anything here and bring that about, okay? But what you need to remember is we are promoting your library with the latest content. So whenever anyone gets into the system, they see all the current stuff. Now, we're talking about adding patrons. We're talking about being logged in as an administrator. Everything that you will do as an administrator will be from this button here. That's the menu button. I like to call it the hamburger button because it looks like a hamburger with the 3 lines. There's a little bit of sauce there. So if you press that button, you'll get all the options. You'll only get that red dot there if you have raised a question with us. You want to know how to do something, or a report is not working, or you'd like a report changed, or you want to know how SKIS cataloging works. So you want to put in a request. You can talk to us via email. You can talk to us via phone on a 1-800-241-709. But the best way is click on the mailbox. Okay, now when you click on the mailbox, you can go, I want to create a support ticket, and create a ticket. You put in the subject matter of the ticket, the issue that you have, and go send. And what will happen when we respond to you, your hamburger menu will now have a red dot with a 1 in it because we responded once. So if you asked for 5 things on 5 different tickets and we responded to 3 of them, in here will be 3. That means we responded to 3 of them. Then you come, all you do is you click on the support tickets, and then you can read your tickets. And you can click on that, and it will take you to the original ticket, and any response will be up here. Okay, so if I go to my systems, so there's a response that's come in. So if I click on that, it'll tell you what's happened over there. Okay, however, we're going to add patrons to the system. So you go to your hamburger menu, you go down to patrons and patron management. Whenever you go to the patron management screen, if you're logged in as Jackie, your record will come up. If you're logged in as Marianne, your record will come up. If you're logged in as John, the librarian or the teacher's aide, or whoever you've given access to manage your system with you, their record will come up. And if you want to find a patron, once it's come up there, you just go find. And find who? SM. You can put in 1 character, you can put in 2 characters, you can put in the whole word. And it can be first name or surname or barcode. And okay, and then you choose who you want, and there's your patron record. So that's how you can find a patron. And if you want to say, oh, well, I need to put their email address is jsmith at vic.gov.edu. Okay, so if you want to put in an email address, you just put it in. Remember, whatever you do, you click save at the end. Okay, and if a student comes to you and says, I forgot my password, I changed my password, or a teacher, I forgot my password, you just go change password. And the new password for this person is password. You can make it anything you like. Keep it simple. Make it password. All in lowercase, and then go change password. Okay, now when you change the password, make sure that at the bottom here where it says change password, click on that. So it says change password or next login. Yes. So you say, all right, John, I've gone and changed your password to you. I've given you a generic password. It's called password, all in lowercase. And when you try to log in and put that password in, it's going to ask you to create your own password. Okay, so anyone loses their password, that's how you manage them. And if you got their email address, you can just hit that email login, and it will send them a letter with their username and their temporary password that they can log into the system. Okay, so you can do that automatically. No use clicking that if there's no email address in that. So I've shown you how to find a patron and how to change a patron. If this patron is no longer at your school, you want to delete him, you just click on delete a patron. It says, are you sure? And if you said yes or okay to that, it will delete this patron. Add, change, delete a patron, easy. There are other bits and pieces of patron record you might want to go ahead and look at. Okay, so if you want to send emails to the patron, you can put in their parents' email address there, and you can do that. Now I'm going to show you how to add a patron. So to add a new patron, you just go new. It gives you a blank screen, and you'll give him a barcode. Or you can put in the admin number, or you can just say, no, I want them to log in with their email address. So if I go mfern at vic.gov.edu.au, and so that's it. And his surname is Mike Ferns. Okay, so you get M-I-K-E. So I'm going to create a username for him. His username, you could take that barcode and make it his username, but why not just make it his first name, full stop, his surname? Now, the reason for that, I recommend that, is because if you're primary school and you say, what's your username? You just say, it's your first name with a full stop, your surname, and that's it. comes in very handy. I'll show you why in a minute. So M-I-K-E, Mike, and the surname is Ferns, and I can take the email address, which is this barcode at the moment, and I can also put it into the email address. Okay, now I have to choose a class grade. When I choose a class grade, it'll come up with all my year levels, and I go, it's a year 5. And my homeroom, I'll go in here and I'll choose my homeroom. I haven't got a year 5 homeroom, but if I had a year 5 homeroom, okay, I could have just chosen year 5, but we'll just pretend that that's his homeroom. His role is a student, and basically you can go save and then change a password for him, and that's it. Now if he's not a student, then you go, I want to make him a teacher. So click in here and add him as a teacher. So you just go, it's a teacher. Okay, when you click out there, get rid of the student. So now he's got a role of a teacher. What does that do? Well, firstly, it will give him access to TV for Education. You don't have to ring us and ask for that if you subscribe to TV for Education. If he's not a teacher, but it's another library staff member, it's a parent that's going to help you in the library, or just another staff member, just go in here and say it's a librarian. Okay, and when you choose librarian, get rid of teacher. So now when they log in, they will have all these menu options. Okay, and then just go save, and it says password's not set. That's okay. So you can go ahead later on and put the password in there, but you've actually created this record. And that's all there is to adding a patron, changing a patron, deleting a patron. Okay, if you want to upload a photograph for Mike, easy. Just go in his patron record, click on upload, okay, and then go to wherever your patron photographs are. And if you've got a photo in, let's go here, save picture. I don't have a picture, but if I had a picture here, I would just click on that picture, go open, and what would happen, that photograph for this particular person that you just clicked on will appear here. That's how you do an individual patron photo upgrade. There obviously is a bulk photo upgrade. We're not going to deal with that at the moment. We just want to add patron, change a patron, delete a patron, change a password, change any of his details, and add a photograph. Okay, and that's all there is to the patron. Let's go to cataloging. I want to add a book. So you click on menu, click on catalog, and catalog. And that will bring up the catalog screen. And now that you've added half a dozen patrons, the catalog screen looks exactly the same. So you've got the find. So I click on find and I look for cat. And when I go in there and I go, that's my catalog record. And if I want to change it, I go to subject, because I want to go here and add a subject, and ANIM. So animal babies, I want to add that subject. And if I want to add another subject, a new line. And if the subject's not in the list, it'll tell you it's not in the list. Do you want me to add it to the list of the authority file? You just go yes, and it adds it. And that's the same for all of that. So that's how you add a record. That's how you change a patron record. If you want to delete the record, you just go delete the title. It will delete everything. Okay, so what you have to remember, if you click delete title and there happens to be all these copies, okay, and as long as they're not on loan, if you go delete title, it's going to delete all the copies as well. You go, but I don't want to delete all the copies. I only want to delete one copy. Not a problem. So find the barcode that you want to delete. If that's the barcode you want to delete, you extend that menu here. You click on that and you go delete, and it will now tell you that it's deleting that specific barcode. You go okay, and it gets deleted. If you want to add another copy, you just click add, okay, and you can just go ahead there and add the barcode. You can add the call number, the status, the location, the sublocation, the loan type, the renewal type, the supplier, the cost. You can do everything there, okay. But let's say that this is not a book, it's a laptop. So now when you click on the barcode of a laptop, or a barcode up here, if it's a laptop, you have the asset button. You can click on the asset, put in all the asset information about that item and save it. Now, if it's a laptop and a kid has damaged it and you sent it out for repairs and it's come back, you'd like to record the maintenance record, you've got a maintenance record. Click on the maintenance record and you can put in everything about the maintenance. So you now have a maintenance register, you have an asset register, and if this was just a barcode of a book, of a box, let's say you don't have all copies, you just have a box, and the box is the dinosaur kit. So what you do is you go management against the barcode, and here you'll zap in all the books that's going into this kit. You just zap them all in. And the reason why, because when you then circulate the barcode of the kit, which is the box, it'll pop up a list of all these books and say, I'm letting you know all these books are going out. Are you sure they're all there? You just go check it, yes, and then you check it out. That's it. It's as easy as that. Okay, so it's a very, very powerful, simple to use add, change, delete. So once you add, change, delete a catalog record, add changing here is no problem at all. If you want a SKISS catalog, it's even easier. Okay, so you need to go to the menu button, you need to go to catalog, and you need to go to global catalog. Now, when you go to the global catalog for the first time, okay, I did some changes. It's asking me, do I want to leave? Yeah, I want to leave. So now when you go into global catalog for the very, very first time, you must do this once and once only. Okay, you need to tell the system what your SKISS username and password is. So what you do is you click here, you click on the Z3950 databases, okay, and what you would do is you'd put in, you'll make sure this SKISS will be there by default. You'll need to put your SKISS username and your SKISS password, which we encrypt. And then you just go, it's the default, and go update. Don't worry about all these others. Just go update, and that's it. You won't have all these others on your system. Okay, so you just put that in there. Then the next thing that you have to do once and once only, you have to click not on the configuration, next to the configuration again, and you go to default spine label. And we have a whole bunch of default spine labels, and we're going to keep adding them in here. So choose the default spine label that you have, and then hit save. And you only do that once. Okay, now once you've done all of that and you want a SKISS catalog, let's say you've got 5 books to catalog and they're all fiction books, you'll go here, you'll say, you tell it it's a media of a book, this is the location, this is the sublocation, the loan period is fortnightly, renewal period is fortnightly, it's available, the cost centered was paid by the library or the English department, my supplier was John Doe Book Supplies, okay, and then you go in here and you enter the ISBN number. Whoops, I don't have an ISBN number. Let me go and grab an ISBN number. I had one saved before, so let's just grab one anyway. Okay, so we're going to do a search, and we'll use this ISBN number. There we go. Control C to copy that. And now I'll go back into my catalog and global catalog. I'll leave this record. Okay, and I've filled in all my information here. I go into my SKISS and I enter my ISBN number, and then I zap in my barcode. And then I'll enter the next ISBN number, okay, and then enter the next barcode. Okay, you don't have to wait for that. Okay, so it's going to contact SKISS and bring it back. Then I enter my next ISBN number, which I am making up, and then I'll go to my barcode. Okay, and what will happen is, if the book exists on SKISS, it'll go green. If it doesn't, if it exists on SKISS for there, it'll go green. If it doesn't exist on SKISS, it'll go red. And the red one means you've got to manually catalog it because SKISS doesn't have a copy of it. Okay, if you want to examine the catalog record, only if it's green, you can click on the title. It'll take you to the catalog screen. It'll bring up the catalog record. Okay, and you can check it. You can have a look at it all. Okay, or you just go ahead and go ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode. When you're finished, you just go to print at the bottom right, and it'll bring up your spine labels, and all you need to go is go print. That's it. It's as easy as that. Okay, so SKISS cataloging is very fast, very comprehensive, and it does a lot of things. Now, if you wanted to put in the price for each book, and they're all different. You put in the price of the book, then ISBN number and barcode. Put in the next price of the book, the next ISBN number and the barcode. The next price of the book, the ISBN number and barcode. And that's it. And you never have to click on title and go there and do all those things. So that's how we do SCIS cataloging. The second last thing we're going to do is circulation. Circulation is magic. It's fast, it's efficient, gives you lots of information. So I'll just click on my hamburger menu. I go down to circulation and circulation. And like before, it's always automatically in loans. It's not in returns. But if you just want to return books, just click on return and zap in the barcode of all the books you want to return. Okay. Alternatively, you can just say, no, I'm going to loan. You can loan by entering the patron barcode, the patron's first name, the patron's second name, or just go SM, and it'll bring up everyone with SM. And so you can say, all right, I'm going to choose my patron that I want to bring up. And if there's any reason why I can't borrow, it'll come up with that reason. But there's John Smith. Now, if I want to borrow a book, I know I've got a barcode called 11. So that's the book he's borrowed. I've got a barcode called 22. That's the next one. 33. That's the next one. If there's any reason why not, it's lost. And you go, oh, someone found the book. So you just go, okay, it's returned. And then you go the next barcode of the book and the next barcode of the book. And every time you try and borrow something, if there's any reason, it'll tell you. In this case, it's lost. Continuing will reactivate it. You go, yeah, of course, he's got it in his hand. I'm going to give it to him. So basically, the cover of the book will come up here, a whole host of information about it, but there they are. And so whenever you're looking at a patron's loans, that's the way it's going to be. Blue, white, blue, white, blue, white. So it's easier to follow the lines, okay? And then it's going to tell you that's due in 14 days, 14 days. This was an overnight loan, so it's due in 1 day, okay? Now, let's say one of these books are overdue. So I'm going to deliberately make it overdue, or I want to extend the loan period. This is how you do it. You just put a tick in there. You click on the date that you want to extend it to, but I'm going to go backwards because I want to show you what an overdue book looks like. So here it is, and I just go renew. Now what it's going to do, it's going to tell you other people that have reserved it, but you can just override. Now, what's going to happen is whenever you call up a patron, and if they've got a book that's overdue, that's the way it's going to look. So let's go into another book here, and we're going to make that overdue as well. And that's the 14th of 14, and I just go renew. Okay, so I've got 2 books overdue. Now let's say I've called up John Smith and I said, look, John, you've got 2 books that are overdue. You can't borrow anymore. And he says, what books? And you go, Cat's Eye. He goes, no, I returned it. I put it back on the shelf. You say, well, you're supposed to give it to me. I put it back on the shelf. So instead of having an argument with him, you click on the book that he said he returned, and you put on claimed return. That's what you do. You just click that. And it gives you an opportunity to put a message there. He said he returned it, but I don't believe him. Okay, so you can put any message you like in there. And what's going to happen is, says the claim return process is done, but it's going to show it as a brown. So next time he claims he returns a book, you can say, well, John, you said the same thing about Cat's Eye. Okay, so it gives you a history. So that will always stay on his circulation and always stay on his record, but it allows him to borrow more books. Okay, if he said he lost the book, so the cat on the mat is lost, what you need to do is you just put a tick in there. If he's lost it, he's lost it. There's nothing you can do. So you just go lost. Okay, and that's lost. Okay, and it will automatically say here that was marked as lost by Jonathan Smith, who's the librarian, on such and such a date for John Smith. Okay, so we put all that information in here, so you don't have to do it. It's all automatic. Okay, and that's how we treat losses. So circulation is very, very easy. The last thing we're going to do is, okay, I need to do overdues. How do I run overdues? Easy. This is all fundamental, straight stuff. We get a lot more complex in all the features and functions, and we'll be doing some advanced circulation, advanced cataloging, advanced reports, advanced overdues, advanced letters. We have all these advanced YouTube sessions. So look out for them, or better still, why not go into your ticket and say, I want to attend an advanced report session. Can you register me for that? And we'll register you. So you'll get notified when we're going to do it. Okay. So if you want to do reports, you click on reports, you come down to reports and reports. Okay. And the report system will come up. The report system is divided into two. Reports created by FSI. So when you convert, when you come on board, these are all the stock standard reports. Okay. If we do some changes, or you want to experiment and do your own changes, I'd encourage you to do it. I'd encourage you to attend a report writing webinar, a YouTube live event, because you will love running your own reports, creating any reports. And the way you do it is you just choose so I'm going to choose the overdue reports. Okay. And I'm going to do overdues by classification. And then I go open. And it says class grade equal to, and you enter the class grade. So in here, I'll say equal to 7s, 8s, 11s, 12s, 4s, 5s, 7. You don't have to enter all of them. You just choose the ones you want. Okay. And then you just go generate. And the system will automatically generate. And if you want to see, that's a template, but you can look at the results. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. And now if you want to print that, you can print, or you can say, no, I want to export it as a PDF because, or I want to share that report. But you can export it as a PDF and then send it off. Okay. Now, let's show you something a little bit more fancy. You can obviously just print it. Let me show you something really fancy. So I'm going to go into reports, and I'm going to do a homeroom report. Okay, I don't know what homerooms there are. So let's go overdues and go overdues by homeroom. Okay, and go open. Okay, now when I open the report, I go homeroom equal to 3J. Okay, and I go generate, and that'll generate, if there was overdues, it'll appear here. So let's pretend you're looking at a whole list like the previous list, but you go, okay, so if that's a homeroom report, what else can I do? You can go into configuration, okay, and you can go into conditions, and you can change the conditions. Okay, you can even change the template of the report and change that report around. Okay, and when you come to an advanced reporting module, we're going to also show you how you can take your homeroom report or any report and have it sent to a particular homeroom teacher on Monday morning or Tuesday afternoon at this particular time. So you never have to ever run homeroom reports again. Okay, so get into the advanced report YouTube live event and we'll show you how to do that. Thank you very much for the opportunity to introduce you to SmartSuite library. And remember, all the upgrades are free. You'll never be charged. There are no hidden costs, no funny pricing, and your annual subscription won't go up just because you happen to upgrade. Okay, it's best for you to upgrade because you automatically have accessibility to all the new functionality on the system. Okay, now if you go ahead and you upgrade and you want to find out how to find help, surely there must be a way to help. So let's go into reports, let's into menu, let's go into cataloging and general cataloging and go, I don't want to ring them. I should be able to find help myself. Every screen that you're on has a help button. All you need to do is you just click on that and it'll bring up the help for you. And there's all the articles on help, and you can go in there and you can see there's pages and pages and look at all the articles on cataloging. Okay? The best thing is we're Australian. What's the point of teaching kids and then using a product from overseas where all the profits go overseas and there's no industry and no business here? So we're saying Think about buying Australian, using Australian, supporting Australian. And in any event, if you compare us to all our competitors, I don't believe you'll find a more intuitive, a more sophisticated, a more detailed, and a more feature and function filled library system at the most cost effective price, where your library budget should be going into resources in your library instead of paying for reports and paying for upgrades and paying for all the other things that competitors charge. We wish you well and hope you enjoy Smart.